This is a full ride and review of a Suzuki Rm250 and why you need a two-stroke. Yeah, you gotta be careful back here. Oh, Corona! Corona! Whoosh! Whoo! In my ownership, I've had nothing but fun with this. This thing has been just great. No real issues. I've never really seen anybody do a ride and review, so I kind of was thinking of doing that. But let me tell you some great features about this bike. Obviously, being a 252 stroke, it's a trick bike, race bike, whatever you want it to be, but this thing is actually a really good trail bike. I mean, it'll go through anything. It's got enough power to get up any hill back here or anywhere, really. The best part about this bike is the handling, though, hands down. The way the motor works too, the power band, it's just a lot of fun. You know, you gotta hang on. You're just like here, it's like a turbo, you know? There's nothing this thing can really throw at me that I haven't like felt or seen or whatnot, you know? That's why I love this bike, because you feel so comfortable on it. And the way it takes turns is, you know, very nice. And it's got power, but it's not like unbearing power, you know. The earlier years, they kind of had jetting issues. So once you get the jetting cleaned up, then they run, you know, they run good. These things are super sensitive to air. So that's one thing about them, you know. I would say this bike, it runs pretty good. It could run a little better on the low end. I feel like it's burning a little too much oil, like off the pilot. So I maybe need to open up the air screw a little bit, maybe clean it up. But I think if I went down 1 or 2 on the pilot, it would clean up real good and just burn nicely, you know. You can casually cruise on a 250 too. Like, look how I've been riding this video. I've been cruising and talking, no problems. If you're fouling plugs, it's your jetting or your mixer is off. I'd go from there. It's kind of weird when you use less oil in these things, they run richer. So just because you're leaning out the mix, like using less oil, I mean, it's like, for example, when I got it, I mixed it 36-to-1. But you need to mix the bike based on how it's set up. Like, so if you have it tuned to be 32-to-1 and you mix it 36-to-1, it's going to change the air-fuel mix. It's going to mess with it. The air-fuel ratio, excuse me. Once you get that figured out, then this thing is really a good bike. If you invest in an electron carb, I don't know if you guys know what that is. If you invest in that, you get that, then it does all the tuning for you, you know. It adjusts based off the atmosphere, the air, all that stuff. I had a YZ before this, but the 250s are just way better, way better. A 125 is the exact same size, like the height and everything, besides the KX is a lot smaller. What they're asking right now for 2 strokes, like, why the hell would you buy a 125 if you're gonna pay $2 grand for a motorcycle and you're getting a 2-stroke? I'm getting a 250. I mean, it just makes more sense. Oh, Corona! Corona! Whoosh! Dude, what am I doing today? Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Got a lot of fun content coming, as you can see. I love doing this stuff. It's a lot of fun recording. It's actually the most fun I've had in a long time. You can't complain when you're on a dirt bike, man. I'm just putzing around right now talking to you guys. But if you're gonna get a 2-stroke, you might as well get something older, because the newer 2-strokes, they're still carb rated, unless you're getting like a KTM like 300 fuel injection. I wouldn't get anything older than a 01. The 2000s look a little funky, they kind of do, but 01 and up is when they started looking really modern, in my opinion. So if I were you, I'd look for an 01 and up. Like if I was going to buy a newer bike, I'd probably buy a 4-stroke, because you know you're getting way more technology. You're getting you know, the fuel injection, you can map it and all that stuff. This is not like that at all. You don't, you know, you're turning a screw to tune it and moving up on the clip and etc. Like you're tuning by hand and sound and feel versus a computer. You know, the computer's gonna win every time. For being an 02, like, you know, this thing, if you're a good rider, it keeps up with the modern bikes no problem, like the 250Fs and stuff. I like 250Fs, don't get me wrong, but they don't come up like 2-strokes come up. One thing I really like about the 450s, because obviously, I mean, they're just a wild bull, but those things come up, you know? Like, the wheelies are just so much fun. If you're not doing wheelies, I mean, what the hell are you doing? Why would you buy something new if you're getting technology from the early 2000s? Like, nothing's different. You got a carburetor still, like, you know? Besides the plastics and styling and, you know, the suspension and stuff, but all that stuff, you can do that yourself. You get one of these, a good deal on Craigslist, do it yourself, you learn a thing or two, and it is possible. That's the nice thing about these bikes. The wheelies, the weight, the sound, just the overall fun on this bike, you know. It's just hard to get something like this, but for the price, you know. Like, for a new dirt bike, you're gonna pay like probably $6-7 grand, something like that, you know. That to me, maybe even more. I feel like inflation's going on, you know, but that to me is just ridiculous, you know. Like, I would not do that. If you look online right now, you go on Google and type in best used 2-stroke, this is the first thing that comes up. It'll take you, it's literally like the first ad you can click, or the first site. The #1 bike is an RM250. If I were you, if you're watching this video, make sure you hit the like button, please. That'd be great. But yeah, save up, get something like this. This thing screams too. Full pro circuit, sounds pretty good. Oh shit. There's a log coming up here. But one thing about a 2-stroke too is they are so much fun to ride. They come up, they just come up so effortlessly, and the way the power band just hits and the way the motor works, it's really fun to ride. So another thing on a 2-stroke too, I guess it's kind of a debated topic, is, you know, you don't really want to engine brake on this, because you know, when you blip the throttle, because you mix the fuel, that's what, you know, lubricates the engine. So if you're engine braking, you know, it could scar up the cylinder. I've heard people say that. I don't really engine brake because of that reason. But some people say that it's not true, but I think it is. The bottom end is the biggest thing I notice now. I was on a YZ before I got this thing, and I went to go jump this thing for the first time, and I was like, whoa, this is weird, you know. And I had to get used to the weight, obviously. And the bottom end is so much better on this than a 125. Oh my god, 125 is like, you got no bottom end. Like, well, look right here, like, I'm not even in the power band, versus right here I am, you know. So watch how I get up this hill real quick. See, the bottom end, it'll just take me right up, you know. I don't even need to get in the power band. Yeah, like I said, obviously you could say where it lacks anywhere would be the bottom end, but you just saw right there, I got up that hill, I didn't even use any of the power. Just wanted to thank you guys for watching the video. Please be sure to leave a like. That really helps out the video. I work really hard on the editing, so I would really appreciate that. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching. Peace out.